straight to the point. Let's try not to waste any time. You want to get better at worms. I've got 7 tips that should help you improve on the game. Let's go. Rule number 1. Before we get into any gameplay, you're going to want to go into your settings, go under the controller tab, you'll see a heading called movement aim, and you want to change that to full aim. Because for some reason, I don't know, by default Worms has it set, so whichever way you're facing, it overrides your right stick to only allow you to aim in the way that you're facing, direction that you're facing. It's going to get you killed. You don't want that. You want both sticks to act independently. The second thing that changed was what I had my jump button bound to. By default it's set to X, but I changed mine to L3, just so when I'm jumping and stuff I can still aim with my right stick and don't have to let go of it to jump. It allows me to have more control over the gunfights I'm in. Rule number 2, identifying your playstyle. I think this one's really important, especially due to the nature of this game, where there's no loadout system, there's no class system, and you kind of got to build your loadout on the fly. And knowing what you're looking for makes it a lot easier process. Like myself, I like to look for the assault rifle, I like to look for the shotgun, because I like to be long range, I like to be close range. I like to have the variety of both of them. And if I can't find the assault rifle, I use the hand cannon. So when you understand your playstyle, you know what weapons will accommodate to it. And eventually, when you get used to that one playstyle, you switch to another weapon loadout, and then you're able to flex in between, which will throw off your enemies and help with your playmaking. But I'll get more into that later on. Rule number 3. Learning your weapons. Once you find your loadout, that's only half the battle. The other half of it is finding out how you can be the most efficient with your weapons. Personally, I think there's 4 things you should know about your weapon that will help you be efficient with it. The first thing you should know, and I think this applies most to the shotguns, the hand cannon and the launchers, is understanding your weapon's firing rate. I'm going to use the shotgun for this example, just because it's one of the most commonly used weapons in Worms, and I will give you an example of how I see enemy players use it versus how I use it. The reason why I think people don't take the fire rate into consideration is because 9 times out of 10, I'll see someone with a shotgun, they'll be in an open area, they'll take the first shot off. That's fine. Then what they do after that is they will stay in that area and spam R2 until they're able to shoot again. When that means you're going to lose bits of HP unnecessarily, and that's going to ultimately get them killed. What I would do now is I'll take my first shot off, and then in between the downtime I'd take cover or make myself hard to hit, and then I'd shoot again when I'm able to. Or if I take my first shot and I know that I've done some damage, I will switch to my assault rifle, because I know that's constant damage because it's got a high firing rate, to make up for the downtime. So I'll shoot my shotgun, hit the first shot, use my assault rifle to do constant damage and put pressure on. Then when I know my shotgun's ready to go again, I will switch back to my shotgun and shoot. That makes me get the maximum efficiency out of both weapons, and that's what you need to start doing to be able to dominate the competition. The second thing is more common knowledge, but it's still important to go over, and that is understanding your weapon's effective range and conditions. The assault rifle is pretty clean cut. You want to have long sight lines, long range and spacing between your opponents, and you want them to die before they can even get close to you. The shotgun is quite the opposite. You want to make sure you have tight spaces, and you want to make sure the pellets can't spread so you can get the maximum damage on your opponent. Rocket launchers, however, are a bit different. They're a bit more technical, where you want to make sure the opponents have a flat surface behind them, or if all else fails, you want to be shooting down at your opponents rather than shooting up, unless you're aiming for a surface. Remember that. The reason why that is important is because rocket launchers and grenades and explosives, their main buff is that they have splash damage. And if you're shooting up, unless you're getting direct impacts, you're not going to utilize the splash damage. So understanding this, oh damn, good grenade kill. But understanding this is what's going to help you separate you from your opponents and the competition. Number 3, understanding your weapon's time to kill. It is what it says on the tin. I don't really need to explain much into it, but you need to understand how many bullets or how many shots it takes for you to kill your enemies with whatever weapon choices, because that helps in your decision making. If you understand that your enemy's low HP and you have enough bullets to kill them with spare, don't stay back and reload. Go push in and kill the person, then reload, because you can. And this ties in with number 4, which I don't really need to explain, and that is knowing your magazine size and watching your ammo. If you don't watch your ammo, you will die. Simple as. There's nothing more to say there. Rule number 4, and I can't stress this enough, use the bat. It is your best friend. Even the developers try to get you to use the bat, but people just don't do it. The bat is your best friend. What it can help you with, it helps you finish off low health targets. You can use it with your shotgun to combo. You can go shotgun, melee, or melee shotgun. Preferably shotgun, melee though, way better. You can deflect grenades. You can deflect some projectiles. It's your shield and it's your sword. Honestly, use it. Rule number 5, choose your engagements. As a good player, you need to be able to identify what fights are worth fighting, what fights are winnable, and what fights are worth the risk. And it's okay to run away sometimes. You need to understand that amount of times I've seen people rush me with low HP just because they feel like they have to fight me. No, run away, reload your weapons, get your health back. If you're lucky, find some shield. Then you get into some good positioning, which I'll get into in a minute, and then you re-engage. Don't be scared to run away. Don't be scared to come back to fight again. It's fine. It's part of the game. It's part of winning. Rule number 6, playmaking and positioning. This will come naturally, but this will take everything that you've learnt already and you flip it on its head. Instead of thinking about yourself, you just start thinking about your opponent. What's in their arsenal? Then when you identify that, it's like, what do they need to be effective? And you want to starve them of their options. This is because it will make them panic and do something stupid, and then you can exploit that and win the game. Like you can see here, I made the enemy throw all his grenades at me until he had nothing left, and his only option was to come out with what he had. From then on, I had the advantage on him, I had the high ground on him, I was shooting down at him, killed him, got my solo win. Simple as that. Playmaking sounds more complex than it actually is. It's not that technical. All it is just using what you know to outsmart your opponents. And that just requires you to be patient and to be stubborn sometimes. Like you see in this here again, which is why I ran this clip again, is that I knew it would be stupid for me to go push in on this person because it would get me killed. So I was like, I'm going to test the waters, see how dangerous he actually is. So we had a sheep launcher. Came back in and I was like, okay, this is my playground now. You have to come into here at some point and your options are limited. And that's when you know you execute your play, because this guy knows what my play is, but you can't do anything about it. And that's when you know you set up a good play for somebody. Rule number 7 is by far the most important because it applies to all games and it doesn't get addressed enough, and you see that it's slowly fizzling out. It's have fun. People think to get good at a game, you have to take it super seriously. You don't. If you learn from your mistakes and blah 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 and learn what your enemies are doing, you'll improve slowly bit by bit. And you need to accept that sometimes you're the best in the lobby, sometimes you're the worst in the lobby, and sometimes you're just the person that's just skating by. So when you're in the positions where you're the best in the lobby, stop crapping on other players that are trying to learn the game as well. Be a helping hand. Support each other. We're a community at the end of the day. We're gamers, okay? We get stick from everybody else about, oh, we're all sitting in our basements, blah, blah, blah. Why are we fighting amongst ourselves? You know? Enjoy your games, have fun, play with your friends. If it starts getting stressful where it affects you when you turn off the game, call it a day. All in all, these should all help you improve your gameplay in Worms, and most of these are transferable to other games as well. But one thing I will say is though, be patient. It won't happen overnight. Just work on one element of your gameplay at a time, and you'll start to see improvement in no time, honestly. This clip right here we're watching right now is from my last video. It's me getting a 46 kill win on the deathmatch, I think. The link will be in the description. I hope some of these tips will help you, even if not all of them apply to you. I hope at least one of them got through to you. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Take care, and I'll see you next time.